Hello Golden State Warriors fans, we are here once again to bring you the latest news related to our team, and I would like to emphasize how committed we are to improving our performance to achieve great results. Before we dive into this intriguing news, I kindly request you to show your support by clicking the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, I invite you all to join us on an exciting journey. Remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Trade analysis: Warriors send rising star east in latest three-team Markkanen proposal. Golden State Warriors' hopes of acquiring Lauri Markkanen are dimming as the 7-foot forward is likely to remain with the Utah Jazz, according to ESPN's Zach Lowe. Moreover, ESPN colleague Brian Windhorst recently stated that, if this deal was going to happen, it would have happened, while another ESPN reporter, Ramona Shelburne, believes there's only a 20% chance of Markkanen being traded to the Warriors. On Monday, the Jazz posted an Instagram story featuring young guard Keyonte George and Markkanen training together in Finland, with Markkanen reposting it. While this may seem insignificant, it could indicate their anticipation of continuing as teammates next season. Despite the fading hopes, possibilities remain until Markkanen signs a contract extension, which would take him off the trade table for the foreseeable future. Could the Warriors find a third team to facilitate a Markkanen trade? The Warriors might pull off a trade if they're willing to part with young guard Brandon Podziemski. However, there's no indication they're interested in doing so. In fact, Warriors owner Joe Lacob reiterated their unwillingness to trade the 21-year-old, calling him a future All-Star during the Summer League earlier this month. Securing Markkanen without giving up Podziemski or Jonathan Kuminga seems highly unlikely. The challenge with trading Kuminga is his eligibility for an extension, which Utah is reluctant to engage with due to potential long-term financial commitments exceeding $150 million. This has led to three-team trade proposals involving Kuminga going to a third team. Eric Pincus suggested a deal last week involving the Sacramento Kings as the third team, but for both financial and on-court reasons, other teams might be more motivated to take on Kuminga and offer draft capital. Potential third team: a new proposal involving the Charlotte Hornets. In this scenario, the Charlotte Hornets help mediate a trade between the Warriors and the Jazz. Here's a possible 6-player deal. Golden State Warriors receive Lauri Markkanen, Cody Martin. Charlotte Hornets receive Jonathan Kuminga. Utah Jazz receive Gary Payton II, Kevin Looney, Gue Santos, unprotected 2026 first-round pick, Warriors, top 2 protected 2027 first-round pick, Mavericks via Hornets, unprotected 2028 first-round pick, Warriors, unprotected 2028 first-round pick, Hornets, 2031 first-round pick swap, Warriors. Why the Jazz should consider this trade? In the proposed deal involving the Kings, the Jazz would receive 5 players: Kevin Huerter, Kevin Looney, Moses Moody, Colby Jones, and Gue Santos, and multiple picks. However, this doesn't deliver a top-tier young talent and lacks a full range of draft picks. The new trade proposal emphasizes draft capital and financial flexibility with expiring contracts, Payton and Looney, and a non-guaranteed deal, Santos. The Jazz receive 4 first-round picks and a pick swap, with 2 Warriors picks arriving when Stephen Curry will be 38 and 40 years old. Additionally, a future Hornets first-round pick could be more valuable than one from the Kings or other teams, given the Hornets' potential struggles. Why the Hornets should consider this trade? Finding a team willing to trade genuine assets for Kuminga is challenging. Contending teams lack the financial flexibility for a significant extension, and rebuilding teams don't want Kuminga's talent affecting their draft lottery odds. The Hornets, however, might be interested. Despite missing the postseason for 8 years, they could be motivated to trade for Kuminga to accelerate their rebuild, especially if they see playoff potential with a core of LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Kuminga. Trading Cody Martin and future first-round picks, including one that isn't theirs, is a reasonable price for a player with Kuminga's all-star potential. Why the Warriors should consider this trade? Trading Kuminga involves risk, given his talent, but the deal excludes Moses Moody, allowing more playing opportunities under Steve Kerr. Cody Martin, while not as valuable as his brother, has proven to be a solid rotational player. Although a knee injury limited his appearances last season, he averaged 7.5 points, 3.9 rebounds, 3.7 assists, and 1.1 steals in nearly 27 minutes per game. Sending Kuminga to the Eastern Conference mitigates the risk, as the Warriors will face him only twice a season, rather than regularly in the playoffs. The trade also solidifies their lineup with Curry, Podziemski, Andrew Wiggins, Markkanen, and Draymond Green, supported by a deep bench of DeAnthony Melton, Buddy Hield, Moody, Kyle Anderson, Tracy Jackson-Davis, and Martin. Conclusion: Convincing Danny Ainge and the Jazz to trade Markkanen likely requires significant assets. This proposal strikes a balance, with the Warriors sacrificing Kuminga but retaining Podziemski, Moody, Jackson Davis, and multiple first-round picks while acquiring Markkanen, who should peak in the next 5 to 6 years. Key Warriors trio poised to thrive with major offseason addition. The Golden State Warriors didn't just overhaul their roster this offseason, they also rejuvenated their coaching staff around Steve Kerr. Notably, the Warriors hired 13-year NBA coaching veteran Terry Stotts and former 2x NBA All-Star and 18-year veteran Jerry Stackhouse earlier this month. Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and Andrew Wiggins stand to gain the most from Jerry Stackhouse's arrival. Stackhouse returns to the league for the first time since serving as an assistant coach for the Memphis Grizzlies in 2018-19. He previously assisted with the Toronto Raptors and led their G League team, coming off a 5-year stint coaching the Vanderbilt Commodores in college. Standing at 6 feet 6 inches with a career scoring average of 16.9 points per game, Stackhouse believes his ability to develop Golden State's top players was a major reason for his hiring. He shared this with Anthony Slater of The Athletic in an interview last week. "That's the position I played. I've been in that spot. I know what they're going through, from a young guy looking for a contract to a player transitioning his game as he ages." Jerry Stackhouse. This insight is especially relevant for 3 Warriors players, notably Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, who are entering their 4th seasons. Both players are extension eligible and are eyeing their first major contracts, particularly Kuminga, who could command over $150 million after a breakout 3rd season, averaging over 18 points on 54% shooting in his last 41 games. Stackhouse could also greatly benefit Andrew Wiggins, given their similar playing styles. Wiggins is aiming to bounce back from the worst year of his decade-long career. The former number 1 overall pick can continue his transition with a focus on defense, though improved scoring will be crucial following veteran sharpshooter Klay Thompson's departure. As reported by Slater earlier this month, Stackhouse will place significant emphasis on the Warriors' defense, while Stotts will focus on the offense after years of success with the Portland Trail Blazers. With these strategic additions to the coaching staff, Kuminga, Moody, and Wiggins are poised to elevate their games and help the Warriors reclaim their status as championship contenders. Golden State Warriors lead the charge in NBA's biggest offseason trend. After years of heavy spending to build the most competitive roster possible, the Golden State Warriors have emerged as clear leaders in scaling back due to the new CBA rules. Over the past 7 seasons, the Warriors have topped the NBA in total payroll 3 times and finished second another 3 times. The only exception was in 2019-20, when they made clear cost-cutting moves after it became evident that their season was doomed from the start. Warriors exemplify the impact of new luxury tax aprons on team spending. Following 4 consecutive years among the top 2 in spending, Golden State has adjusted to the punitive measures now placed on teams exceeding the first and second tax aprons. With Klay Thompson and Chris Paul departing in free agency, the Warriors have settled into the first apron and, subsequently, will be out of the top 10 in payroll for the first time in 5 years. In ESPN's off-season survey published Monday, teams navigating the new luxury tax aprons was ranked as the biggest off-season trend in a poll of 18 coaches, scouts, and league executives. This trend garnered 2/3 of the total votes, with a Western Conference executive telling ESPN the league has moved away from free spending. The new apron rules were undoubtedly implemented to curb the free-spending nature of Warriors owner Joe Lacob and LA Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. It's important to note that the Warriors were willing to continue spending heavily, as evidenced by their pursuit of Paul George before free agency, with reports indicating they were happy to offer the 9x All-Star a max contract extension. However, given the Clippers' own goals of reducing their expenditures, they were unwilling to offload the necessary salary to complete a trade between the two parties. This left George to become an unrestricted free agent and sign with the Philadelphia 76ers. Following this failed attempt to acquire George, Golden State clearly shifted to navigate below the first and second aprons. As an Eastern Conference executive told ESPN, "Once you hit a certain limit, it's impossible to improve your team, and you're stuck." The Warriors refused to be stuck. They used their newfound flexibility to sign valuable role players like DeAnthony Melton, Kyle Anderson, and Buddy Hield to mid-level contracts. Although they no longer have maneuverability in free agency, they have the freedom to explore a range of trades that those above the aprons cannot. It will be fascinating to see how these rules impact the remainder of the Warriors' offseason, especially regarding contract negotiations with 2021 lottery picks Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, both of whom are extension eligible.